Welcome back to another episode of 3 Facts. It's Sunday, May 10th, and it's Mother's Day. Very happy Mother's Day to you, to your mother, and to any other mothers out there listening. We can't honor you enough. I know my mom is one of the strongest, most loving people in the world, and I'm so proud to be her son. If you're new to the podcast, a hearty welcome to you. And if you're back from past weeks, well, welcome back. I'm so glad that you guys decided to tune in today. We've gathered up our facts this week, and we're ready to jump on in, so let's hit it. This week's topics: a bubblegum lake, a ginormous pineapple, and the tea bag. So our first fact of this week is about a lake in Western Australia, in one of the largest islands in the Recherche Archipelago. It's a brilliant pink-colored lake. There's this long, thin shore on one side of the lake that separates it from the Southern Ocean, and this lake's name? Lake Hillier. It was believed to be discovered by a gentleman named Matthew Flinders back in 1802, and the most interesting thing about this lake is that it's got this permanent, bright, bubblegum pink color. It's unclear what causes the lake to take on this pink hue, but it's been theorized that it's either from the extremely high salt content or from microorganisms that live within the water. Lake Hillier was used for years as a salt mine. What's also interesting is that it causes no problems for anyone who goes swimming in the water. Though getting to that lake is extremely difficult, it is surrounded by dense vegetation. Let's talk about the second fact for this week. Now, maybe you're one of the millions of people around the world who loves pineapple, and maybe you're not. Maybe you even use pineapples as a currency of some sorts. Well, can you guess how big the largest pineapple ever grown was and how much it weighed? The answer is after the break. I wanted to take a few minutes to tell you about a service I've been using that I find to be really helpful in creating this podcast. It's called Anchor. If you've never used it before, Anchor is a free service that has every tool you need to be able to make your own podcast from scratch within minutes. You can actually earn money through sponsorships, and there's no minimum listenership, and you can actually distribute it to all the major podcast platforms as well. To check it out, head over to anchor.fm, that's ANCHOR.FM, or download the free Anchor app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging in there. Before the break, I asked you to guess at how large the largest pineapple on record was. You ready for the answer? It turns out the largest pineapple ever recorded was grown by Christine McCallum from Australia. The pineapple was over a foot long, nearly 2 feet around, and weighed in at a whopping 18.5 pounds or 8.3 kilograms. That is one monstrous pineapple. It took Christine over 2.5 years to grow this beast, and she didn't use anything special to grow it, just water. It's pretty incredible if you ask me. Now, our third fact of the week is about something many of you have encountered at least once in your life, I would imagine. It's the tea bag. In case you didn't know, the tea bag was actually invented by complete accident. In 1908, a gentleman by the name of Thomas Sullivan was traveling as a tea merchant. He decided to start just giving out samples of tea wrapped in these little silk pouches. His customers really didn't understand what they were supposed to do with them and didn't know that they were supposed to take the tea out of the bag before they brewed it. So they simply dunked them in the hot water. Well, in no time at all, Thomas Sullivan was bombarded by orders for his tea bags. Now, to put this in perspective, Lipton is one of the world's biggest tea companies. They've been in business for around 130 years, which really predates this discovery. But they were not, in fact, the first to use tea bags. It's pretty interesting to think about how some things have come about just by pure accident. So there you have it. A bubblegum-colored lake, a ginormous pineapple, and accidentally discovering the tea bag. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please remember to rate and leave a review. It truly, truly does help us out. Finally, join in on the fun on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where you're going to find us on all three as 3 Facts Pod. We'll be introducing some fun things coming up, including fast facts, and maybe even a little something extra coming down the pipe. Thanks again so much for listening, and remember, stay curious.